Hello and welcome to this first lecture of the new section on focus on employee experience in this course, Agile HR. So, in this section, we will help you learn how to implement focus on employee experience, one of the critical things for the success of Agile HR. And we will begin by talking about how to use design thinking for HR in doing that, right? How do you think you can implement focus on employee experience? Any thoughts? So there are two things broadly you need to do. First is to use design thinking to co-create HR initiatives with employees. Work together with employees to create those solutions that can help you do better. And this approach ensures that the solutions are designed with employee experience in mind, improving engagement and satisfaction. Second thing you need to do is to tailor HR policies and solutions to meet the evolving needs of the workforce, being employee centric in terms of the policy formulation. For example, allow for flexible working arrangements, offer personalized development program, and consider mental health and well-being initiatives. So take a look at each of these, starting with design thinking for HR. So how do you think you can do design thinking for HR? Let's take a look at that. So, using design thinking to co create HR initiatives with employees, working together with them, allows you as an organization to focus on actual needs of the workforce, encourage collaboration, and empathy driven solutions. Now, what are the various things that you can do to apply these design thinking principles to HR to ensure employee engagement, creativity, and innovation? Let's take a look at as we go forward step by step. Right. So, the first step in design thinking is to deeply understand the needs, challenges, and aspirations of the employee. This step is crucial to ensure that HR initiatives are aligned with what employees actually want and need. So, what the various steps that you can take is to conduct interviews and surveys to gather feedback on current HR processes such as recruitment, onboarding, performance reviews, and learning opportunities. You can also use focus groups to understand pain points from diverse group of employees. And basically, you need to walk into employee shoes by using methods such like this life in the day in the life studies to understand their daily experiences. If employees express frustration with the complexity of the performance review system, for example, you as an HR might conduct in-depth interviews to understand where the process breaks down and what is unclear and how it can affect them. So use empathy to understand employee needs. So that's the first step. Then you need to, once you have these gathered information, the next step is to synthesize the insights and clearly define the problems you are trying to solve. So clearly define the problem. And the goal here is to translate employee feedback into well-defined HR challenges. And how can you do that? Organize feedback into themes like onboarding issues, employee development challenges, work life balance concerns. Narrow down the challenges to those that are most important or would have the greatest impact if resolved. Write problem statements that are specific, user centered, and actionable. From employee feedback, HR may define the problem as new hires feel overwhelmed during onboarding due to an unclear process and lack of personalized support. So that's how you can define and to identify key HR challenges, right? Then what you need to do is to ideate. The ideation phase focuses on generating creative solutions. The word is creative to the problems identified. And this is where employees get actively involved in co-creating HR initiatives. And to do that, what you need to do is to facilitate brainstorming workshops with diverse employee groups, encouraging them to contribute ideas for solving the well-defined challenges that you have defined in the previous step. Use techniques like mind mapping or brain writing to encourage creative ideas from all participants. Emphasize that there are no bad ideas in the brainstorming to create a free flowing, non judgmental environment, and encourage collaboration across different departments to get diverse perspectives. For example, for improving onboarding, ideas might range from creating a buddy system, offering onboarding via mobile app, to breaking down the process in small digestible chunks spread over the first 30 days. So that's how you brainstorm solutions with the employees and ideate. Next thing is prototyping. Now, prototyping involves building simple, tangible representations of your idea to test the feasibility. And these prototypes don't need to be perfect but should be detailed enough to gather meaningful feedback from employees. To do that, you can create low fidelity prototypes such as wireframes, mockups, flowcharts, or even role playing scenario of HR processes. Isn't that interesting? Role playing scenario of the HR processes. Collaborate with employees to create this prototype, allowing them to help shape the solution in a hands on way. Keep employees involved and keep prototypes low cost and low commitment so that you can quickly iterate based on the feedback. If one of the ideas for onboarding is a personalized learning journey, create a rough flowchart or wireframe of the onboarding app or platform, outline the steps and content in a new hire would encounter. So that's how you create a low cost model for potential solutions in prototyping phase. Once you've created your prototype, the next step is to test them with a small group of representative employees. And the goal here is to learn what works, what doesn't, and how the solution could be improved. And to do that, pilot the prototype with a small group of employees, ideally from different functions and levels within the organization. Collect feedback through interviews, surveys, or focus groups to understand what users like, what confused them, and what they think should be improved. You can use tools like Trello or Miro to track feedback and suggestions for improvement. Iterate quickly, improve the prototype based on feedback, and test again. Now, HR might run a test pilot of the personalized onboarding app with 10 new hires, gather their feedback on the clarity, ease of use, and helpfulness of the content delivered. So that's how you can test and gather feedback from employees. After testing and refining the prototype, you are ready to implement the final solution. However, it is important to continue involving employees in the process to ensure that the solution remains responsive to the needs. And to do that, what you need to do is to implement the solutions on a larger scale, starting with a phased rollout to ensure that the initiative is well received. Continue to collect feedback from employees, ensuring that they remain co-creators of the solution by allowing for a post-launch adjustment. Use collaborative tools like Asana or Slack to track progress and maintain open communication channels for feedback after the rollout. After refining the onboarding process based on the feedback, you as HR could roll it out to company-wide launch while still allowing new hires to provide inputs on the experience, ensuring that it further evolves over a period of time. So, what are the key elements of using design thinking for HR? So everything starts with truly understanding your employees' needs and frustrations through the process of empathy. So empathy-driven understanding your employee needs and frustration. Then it involve employee, not just HR professionals. In ideation and prototype, co-create solutions together, collaborate. Be open to trying, testing and failing. Experiment with the aim of improving through continuous feedback and iteration. Build flexible and adaptable HR initiatives that can evolve with ongoing employee feedback and business changes. And that's where agility is important. The employee experience is the heart of every HR initiative created with design thinking. Keep refining based on how employees engage and react to the solution. Stay user-centric. So, what initiatives you think can benefit from using this design thinking approach? Practically, probably everything, but specifically, let's talk about first onboarding. You can co-create a seamless, personalized onboarding journey that helps new employees integrate quickly. You can do employee development, use employee feedback to design personalized learning paths and career development opportunities. You can reimagine the performance reviews to be more frequent, developmental, and focused on real-time feedback, and develop wellness program in the employee well-being that caters to the actual needs of the employee as informed by their experiences and concerns. So let's summarize the steps that you can take to use design thinking for HR initiative. Start by gathering feedback from employees and understand their needs, empathize. Then identify clear, actionable HR challenges to focus on in the defined stage of the design thinking process. Collaborate with employees to brainstorm creative solutions and ideate. Build low-cost early versions of solution to test feasibility in this prototype stage. Test in the next, pilot the prototype, collect feedback and refine the solution, and then roll out the final solution while continuing to involve employees for ongoing improvement. Using design thinking not only makes HR initiatives more effective and aligned with employee needs, but also fosters a sense of ownership and engagement among employees, making them, and this makes these HR initiatives and the whole process more active participants taking place in shaping their work environment. So what do we do next? So having looked at how to use design thinking, we will look at how can how can you be focused on employee experience using by being employee centric, building that employee centric company culture. So thank you so much for watching this first lecture on focus on employee experience in this course Agile HR. I hope you are continuing to learn new things, continuing to enjoy, and I do look forward to see you again in the next lecture. Please feel free to message me if you have any questions. I'll be happy to answer your questions, and do download the PDF file to take a look at anything that you need to.